Why is there no Rainwave logo? Usually Rainwave shows up over the thing. Hello, I am here. It's time for stream chat. Chatting stream. And not just a chatting stream, it's gonna be Persona. As it is the usual. We've only got 3 more of these left before this entire series goes on hiatus until November. I know what this song is. What is this? I need to find out before it goes away on Rainwave. Welcome in, Jappo. Hope you're doing good. Huh. Yeah, my widget is gone. That's weird. Yeah, it's Octopath Traveler. Okay, yeah. I remember that from my one recording I did of Octopath Traveler. If you didn't know, chat, I had planned on making Octopath Traveler a full series at one point. I was a brave boy. I sat down and I was like, I want to play this entire game on YouTube. And that lasted all of one episode because while the game was decent, it wasn't enough to draw me in to want to do an entire series around it. And to be honest, that feels like the kind of common opinion I've seen online where the game is decent, but it's not got enough of a draw for me to want to spend my time doing the recordings and providing commentary for it. Especially in a world where it takes an entire year to finish Persona 5. Yes, I am only doing this twice a week, but even then, it's been a long playthrough. And I'm looking forward to the next one. Looking forward to doing something different, is what I'm thinking about. Getting to do something that's not just Persona 5 or God of War. We're actually going to do something new not next week, but the week after. Which excites me to no end. Chat! Not to go into like anything that's going to I don't know what I'm trying to say. Not to bring real life stuff into this, but I am currently not struggling necessarily, but having difficulties health-wise in the moment. It's nothing major, it's nothing heart-related, nothing like breathing-related. It's mainly a mental thing, which is stupid. And I'm going to get a diagnosis for it on Monday. So, chances are the Monday stream might either be delayed or switched to another day. But, just to kind of summarize it, I'm currently having pretty major sleep insomnia. Which is affecting my recordings and streams. But, the plan is I don't want to postpone them. I feel well enough to do these. And it just requires me to focus a bit more. And try and provide commentary. When usually it'll be fine, but now I need to focus more on what I say instead of saying something, I don't know, a drunk person would say, basically. So, let's have a look at the news, shall we? With the news jingle. Streaming this week, we're done. Monday and Friday is complete. And we're moving on to the last 2 episodes next week. Stream title, Scales of Judgment, is based on the actual scales we see in Size Palace. I couldn't really think of a good stream title this week because we were still doing the Palace. So I was just like, fuck it, what notable thing are we going to be dealing with today in this stream? I don't know, a giant scales that represent Judgment and the courtroom. There you go. Schedule for next week is a season finale of Persona 5. If you're kind of confused what I mean by that, at the beginning of Persona 5 Royal Rose, I said that I'm going to be breaking Persona 5 into 3 seasons. Season 1 across the first bit of the year, and then I did God of War in between, and then during Golden Week I brought Persona 5 back, and we did a whole bunch of Persona 5 for Season 2. And now we're getting to the end of Season 2, and Season 3 is going to be beginning pretty later on into the year. It's going to be November, that's going to come back. And I've got a bunch of ideas for stream series. I'm going to be doing Final Fantasy Tactics next year. Obviously we've got Metal Gear and Devil May Cry coming up, so that's going to be fun. But yeah, it's kind of sad to see this game end. I don't know if I got any plans to do full stream series of other Persona games. I will be doing a recording series of Persona 4 when that comes out, but it will not be a stream. because I don't have time for it. But this is a fun experiment. I've been enjoying this series. Like, if I was to separate the recording from the experience of playing the game, I don't feel bad doing this. I feel pretty happy doing this series. It's kind of lended itself quite nicely to me doing more long-form content and it maintaining engagement. So I'm happy with that. Thumbs up for me. Speaking of long-form content, Death Stranding 2. So this is going to be a scattershot series where I'm going to be recording bits and pieces of the game. However, I'm going to be recording a lot of this game. As you might have seen on the Discord, I put out a 3 hours and 40-minute episode of Death Stranding 2 yesterday. I recorded a lot of it yesterday, and I'm going to be recording a lot more on the weekend. Plan is first 3 episodes, similar to Metaphor. I'm not going to have any cutting in between. I'm going to be doing this as much as I can, and then I'll start doing story content on my own, I think, after that. But yeah, so far, my review of Death Stranding 2, it's more Death Stranding 1. I like the new setting, the music, everything is just more Death Stranding, which kinda scares me, because Kojima does not do the same thing in his games. And I'm sitting there kinda going, this game's lulling me into a false sense of security, isn't it? I put soft sense of security, that's false. I couldn't find the phrase, so I just put soft sense of security, but they're the same thing. But, like, yeah, false sense of security, I was lulled into it, and I think some shit is about to go down soon. Kojima getting old. He did say recently that he did play it safer with Death Stranding 2, but to be fair, I think it paid off, because this game's doing pretty well. Right. Anyone who... actually, let's finish my review. Gameplay's good. Like I mentioned in the video itself, it feels like they force, like, all the tutorials for everything you need to know within these first 3 hours. How to deal with BTs, how to deal with human enemies, how to get across the land, how to use PCCs. They teach you all of that within this first 3 hours pretty well, and I think from this point on, shit is about to go down. It feels more like an epilogue to Death Stranding 1 than, like, the beginning of this game. In a weird sense, because a lot of the characters who I saw in the trailers are not in this part, which is weird because I think Death Stranding 1 did get DLC. I haven't played, where Sam raided a military compound and threw pizza boxes at people. Right, chat. Spoiler warning. Like, no, seriously, big spoiler warning. If I could make this any bigger, I would. If you have not seen Steins Gate, please come back when the banner is gone on the screen right at the border, because I'm going to be getting into deep spoilers for this. I'm not going to be holding back. Oh. Steins Gate, episode 6 to 16. So I mentioned in the last review of this that I was well aware that the show was building up to something. It's a slow-paced show that was eventually going to kick off. And that's exactly what happened. I mean, without like going straight into the meat of the things, you can definitely tell the first 12 episodes were designed for one purpose, which was introducing you to the time account mechanics, and 2, making you care for every single character like they're your own child or your own, like, friend. Because this show is extremely good at making you like the characters. Especially the core cast, the core lab members. So when you get to episode 12 and one of the characters gets gunned down, especially the cute Tutoru lady, I was kind of like, oh. And then we get time travel, because the main character goes back in time to try and prevent this death from occurring. They send their own memories back to the past, called Time Leap. A lot of the stuff in this game, it's essentially a game. Who did the 0.5 times photo on the poor anime girl? You're gonna find out in a second, Gibbs. But a lot of the stuff in this anime reminds me a lot of Outer Wilds. Sending memories back in time, the idea of sending things to the past through, like, black holes and time travel. That's what this show gets into. So, there are some interesting concepts in this show that I quite like, is how strict the rules are when it comes to actually changing anything. So, like I said, the main character goes back in time to prevent Mayuri, his friend, his like childhood friend, from dying. However, every single time he tries to do this, no matter what, at the same exact time, she dies. Even if the people who kill her don't appear, she dies. There's this one instance where he's in front of a subway train with her trying to get out of the city, and a friend of Mayuri shows up and accidentally pushes her onto the rail. It's pretty fucked up. And I remember sitting there like, oh, okay, that's one way to do fixed points in time. So it kind of shows that even if you time travel and go back in time, you can't change a very important event from occurring. A fixed point in time, if you will. Like, Mayuri's death might be crucial for the future at that point. Thus, we couldn't change it by going back in time. Now, we then are introduced to this idea that if you change something enough in the past, it will cause a branch in reality where it's a strong enough divergence to completely split from the current series of world lines. And I love that idea. I love the idea that you have to be methodical in how you change the past to get an ideal, different enough future to actually change the future. That's a very unique take on time travel I haven't seen before. I liked it. I clapped my hands when I heard it. And that, you know, kind of leads to probably the saddest episode in the show, and probably my favourite as well, actually, is the episode where they gave Amane more character. And we found out who her dad was, who is Daku, the main character's science friend, who I wasn't really shocked by because they have the exact same hairstyle. And like I was kind of at a point where it's not going to be the main character. It's going to probably be someone we wouldn't expect. Okay, it was Daku. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Like the one twist where I was like, okay, I kind of saw that coming. It was a sweet scene though, like her hugging her dad. I like that. But yeah, so she goes back in time in an actual time travel machine to get an item for the main group to use. The catch is the time travel machine can only go back in time, so she'll be stuck there. And we get this heroic send-off where she goes to the past, and we assume they'll be delivered the device. However, like before with Mayuri's death, the divergence is not enough to change time. So because of this, they do not receive the device, and this character ends up getting amnesia upon traveling to the past, and finds out too late that they fucked up. And they, unfortunately, do the deed, and they die by themselves. And I was watching that episode, and I was like, that has got to be one of the saddest lives a character has ever lived in any anime. You go back in time to prevent something awful from happening, and then by your own admission, you basically don't change anything, you fail. And then you just live out your life realizing it was all a mistake. Well, that is a time travel fuckery right there, and I hope that it gets resolved because I don't know if I can handle that. I remember watching the episode and I was like, fuck, Science Gate. I mean, I thought the show was gonna get dark. I didn't know it was gonna get that dark. But I mean, well done for creating weird scenarios where characters die and you just feel bad for them. But yeah, I love the time travel in this show. I love how the world lines work. And again, the character writing is fantastic. They do enough to make you care for the core cast. And now the whole idea is we need to diverge from this world line. Or this cluster of world lines and enter a different line, a beta line, basically. So, thumbs up. I enjoy this show immensely. And I kind of wish I played the graphic novel because apparently that's also... Not graphic novel, the video game. Because apparently that's also really good. As of what I'm currently playing, I'm still trudging my way through Neo 2. I think I'm around halfway through now if I'm counting DLC. So, I'm looking forward to doing that. I will say I'm enjoying it, but the kind of the lack of level variety and enemy variety it is affecting me now. And just kind of like, I just kind of want to get to the end of this. And then Donkey Kong Country Returns. I'm in World 6. So, I'm going to be finishing that very soon. I started playing this because Bonanza was coming out. I might do Tropical Freeze, but I'm kind of also burnt out on 2D platformers, so we'll see. I might just wait until Bonanza comes out now, but again, it depends on how I feel. The nice looking DK. I like the new DK. Doesn't have like a massive chin like this DK, but I like the new one. It does. Whenever I see him, I do just think about Seth Rogen, though. I will say that's the only thing I see when I see that character, because that's the first time we saw that new model was in that movie. Oh no, guess the game is what I want. Xenoblade 2. No. Oh god, what is this then? Oh, is this Mad Max? I remember that game. Morbo played that. Yeah. Apparently Morbo enjoyed that. It's a very underrated game, apparently. Okay, well, it's Capcom versus Marvel. Wait, is the other one? Oh, I got it right! It was the second one! Fuck yeah! Is this Borderlands? It kind of looks like Borderlands. I was gonna say, that giant like monster in the background could have been like a Horizons monster. It's not Borderlands. Okay, what is this? Ninja Theory. Enslaved Odyssey to the West. I've never heard of that game. Apparently it's good though. It got 80%. Okay, this is Xenoblade. I think it's Xenoblade 3. Yeah. I could tell because of the UI. That isn't doing that game any service right now. That game looks beautiful on the Switch. I bet it looks even better on the Switch too. Oh, I forgot how uni sounded. We'll have to beat them together. We're dead in the mud. Oh, I speak like this, I guess. I got this accent in this game. He's the only one of that accent, by the way. It's a weird accent video game, I will say. Right. I think if you took you 3 years on stream to finish one of these games, I probably would cut out a lot of stuff on the stream, Gibbs. Like a lot of the grinding and the side quests. So I'll probably finish it in like Xenoblade 1 will probably be a bit shorter than Persona 5. I would not stream Xenoblade 2 because I don't like it. Xenoblade 3 I think is the shortest one. So I could probably do that one. Right. Chat. I'll see you guys after the intro. And we're going to get into some Persona 5. Ciao for now. And I'll see you after it.